मूलम श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So yesterday we were discussing from the NOD Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, fourth chapter we were discussing yesterday. And the topic we discussed was about Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. What are the three types of people who are qualified for it? So we discussed about Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Kanishtadhikari, their definitions. And we also saw the four Sukritinas from Bhagavad Gita. So if they get association of devotees, then they can also practice devotional service. That is the conclusion we saw. So continuing the fourth chapter, now this topic is the desire for Bhukti and Mukti, the obstruct bhakti. Okay. Okay, so this Rupa Goswami says in yes, Amit Bro. Yeah.
Guruji, Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Am I
Dandavat.
audible?
Yeah.
Guruji, I just want to take a minute just to
Yeah.
summarize my understanding, a over goal of what we are studying in a minute, and please correct my understanding.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So, I was asking these questions to myself, and then of course I started searching how these Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu are connected. You also mentioned that.
Mm,
Bhagavad Gita is kind of the foundation, the ABCs, the rules, the formulas.
yeah.
Bhagavatam gives you use cases of Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, what really happens if you follow the path of devotion.
Mm,
And then Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is like the guide, the how-to aspect of the laboratory where you can actually do experiments and then the stages. So it's science of bhakti is explained. Is first of
yeah.
all, is that correct understanding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. What are the emotions going on in the heart of the people in Shrimad Bhagavatam that is being explained? And
Okay.
Rasa will be also explained. Yeah.
All right. Now, once we are inside it, then we talk about, because this is a Sindhu, this is an ocean, we have multiple waves, and we are talking about the eastern wave.
Correct.
In
Correct.
that way, we have again, so we are now talking about so there are three types of
Sad.
bhakti: sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and then prema bhakti, which is our goal.
Yeah.
In sadhana bhakti, we are talking about Vaidhi bhakti, and then the raga,
Raganuga is another part of sadhana
another
bhakti.
another part
Another
of
type.
sadhana.
Okay.
Now, when we make progress on these types of bhakti from sadhana bhakti to bhava bhakti to prem bhakti,
Yeah.
automatically some of the changes we see is that Shadripus start kind of going away and then we start eventually getting into the prema bhava.
Correct.
Now, in the Vaidhi bhakti, what we're talking about is how different the categories of people and where they are in the mode of bhakti and what are their different characteristics. So is that understanding correct on what we have discussed so far on very kind of
Yeah.
high
Last part,
level?
what you said, mood and characteristics of whom?
The Kanishta Bhakta,
Okay.
Uttama Bhakta, and Madhyamadhikari. So Madhyamadhikari.
Yeah. Correct. We discussed the last part. Correct.
Okay, Prabhuji. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to build a mental map of,
Yeah.
how where we are going with this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's same thing. Yeah. So we have been discussing the Eastern section where we are discussing sadhana bhakti, and in that two categories are there: Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga sadhana bhakti. So Vaidhi sadhana bhakti we just saw yesterday the three levels of people in that. Okay, like we have three floors in a building. So Kanishtadhikari maybe the like lowest among them, the ground floor. Then Madhyamadhikari second floor, third floor. Like that we have Uttamadhikari. Correct. So that they are all under the sadhana. They are all practitioners. Okay. And Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti will be like perfected people, Siddha, like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, people with Shraddha, just Shraddha, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Without even understanding, the types, can they achieve Prem Bhakti without studying all this?
Yeah. Yeah. Kripa Siddhi is always possible. Like many examples we have where Kripa is given and suddenly they become a perfected person. So that is possible, but that is exceptional method.
Hmm.
For us, what is recommended is sadhana siddhi. That's why the path of sadhana is described in these books, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and which lays a like Prabhupada gave it lot of emphasis on NOD, and this was one of the first books Prabhupada published actually. Yeah, so that's why this explains the science and what path we should follow. That is sadhana bhakti. Yeah, so we are in that. We are practitioners. So we are doing sadhana to attain the perfection. So kripa is an exceptional thing which somebody gets, just like a lottery. Somebody gets. It's like that. Yeah, but we cannot think that maybe I will get a lottery and then wait for that only and not do sadhana. So for us, the path is this which is being described here.
When we follow this path, also, I don't recollect which there, but we talks about, one among 1,000 people will actually start understanding it, and then out of such 1,000 people, only one will try to understand me. So even
Mm,
after following this path, is the path very difficult?
1 minute. Huh?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Yeah, yeah. So can you just repeat the?
So, Prabhuji, when we're
Yeah,
following the science, the stages of bhakti,
yeah.
and we're following it as a vidhi, the regular aspect of it.
Uh,
Um, so Lord says that one out of 1,000 people who are actually at,
yeah.
wanting to achieve, they come
Mm,
close, and out of such 1,000 people, one actually would really understand me.
mm,
So,
correct.
um, is the path so
Yeah, narrow.
difficult? Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It
Even
is
after
actually.
following the
Yeah.
principles and the steps which have been mentioned here.
Oh, okay. I'm not getting the question. Path is narrow. We understand. Then now what you're saying based on it?
So even after following the steps which are given in
Mm-hmm.
sadhana bhakti, is the path very difficult? That's my question.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, good question. Yeah, actually, first of all, getting to sadhana bhakti itself is very narrow, as you told Manushyanam Shastreshu. Kaschid yatati siddhaya. Very few people will be looking for siddhi. Means they may have some spiritual goal. First of all, yatatam api siddhanam kaschid mam veti tattvata. Among all those looking for some spiritual goals,
Mm,
very few will actually look for me and then know me actually. Correct. So one in many thousands. Sahasreshu. It's like many thousands. So like that. And then when one comes to the path, even looking for Krishna in the path of bhakti, okay, to get into a path where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is flowing, that also is very rare because there are four authentic Vaishnava Sampradayas who can lead us to the form of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Okay, that is there. But come to this path where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is there, that is even more rare. Correct. And apart from that, then getting to uh, have association of acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, and then it's very rare, and then it's very narrowed down. That is right. And in all this, then looking for Raja Krishna, that among so many followers may not be looking all for Vraj Krishna or looking for Golok Vrindavan as the goal. To have that goal is very rare. Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji,
yeah,
for allowing me to summarize my understanding.
yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we are going ahead with this chapter, And now Rupa Goswami is describing this topic, that how the desire for this enjoyment, bhukti, and mukti, liberation, is a not a good thing, and it's compared to a witch. Okay. So he is saying in this 22nd verse of the second chapter means second wave of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and fourth chapter of NOD. Bhukti Mukti Spriha Yavat Pisachi Hridi Vartate Tavad Bhakti Sukhasyatra Katham Abhyudayo Bhavet. Yeah, Amit, you want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. How can desires for bhakti and mukti obstruct bhakti? How can the happiness of bhakti arise in the heart, when the wish of desire for enjoyment and liberation remains there?
Yeah. So Rupa Goswami is saying that, like we discussed earlier, Anyabhilashita Shunyam. Okay, so Anyabhilasha includes these two: the desire for enjoyment, the material world, the sense objects for our own satisfaction, and then second is desire for mukti, liberation, going back to Godhead. Okay, that is both not considered very, very favorable for Uttama Bhakti. Okay, the practice of Uttama Bhakti will not be possible with these two desires. So he says this clearly in this verse, that how can the sukhasya, the happiness of bhakti arise in the heart. Okay, when the witch, like Pisachi, witch of desire for bhukti and mukti, enjoyment and liberation, remains there. Okay, so basically it's a rhetoric question which need not be answered. Answer is automatically understood, that they should not be there in the heart. Okay, like that. So if these two desires are there in the heart, then happiness of bhakti will not arise. Okay, bhakti sukha will not arise in that person. Okay, so this is a famous verse that was edited by Vallabhacharya, Vallabh Bhatt, who reverted this his decision after meeting Jiva Goswami. Okay, so we know this past time where the Vallabhacharya, the very famous Acharya of Pushti Marga, he approached Rup Goswami, and then Rup Goswami told, I'm writing book on the Bhakti Rasa, and he handed over his book to Vallabhacharya, and then Vallabhacharya, he asked, Rupa Goswami asked Vallabhacharya that if you can please go through this, and if there are any corrections, then please let me know. So Vallabhacharya said, sure. So he went and then he read through the book, and then he came next day and he told that this shloka, this particular shloka, maybe this shloka can be little bit changed, because here it is saying that bhukti and mukti, these two, are not favorable for bhakti. Okay. So then obviously later Rupa Goswami, he went to take his bath, and Jiva Goswami actually later when he met Vallabhacharya, he mentioned that actually this verse is not mentioning about bhukti and mukti, but it's mentioning about the desire, spriha. Okay. Bhukti and mukti, okay, may not be in themselves being very, very, what do we say, antagonistic, okay, towards the spiritual goal. Okay, somebody wants mukti, that is also valid goal, spiritual goal, jnanis. That is also accepted. Jnana marga is accepted in the Shastra. Karma marga is also accepted in Shastra. By enjoying the sense objects through Karma Yoga, one will gradually get purified. All that is understood. But the desire for that in a devotee is not considered good, those who are trying to practice Uttama Bhakti. So it was clarified later by Jiva Goswami. Then Vallabhacharya understood it, and then he came and told Rupa Goswami that, yeah, your nephew has clarified my doubts. So don't have to make any changes in the book. And then we know Rupa Goswami uh, saying to Jiva Goswami that you are considering yourself a very great scholar and feeling proud. So you should go out of Vrindavan, because in Vrindavan there is no place for somebody who is having pride in the heart. So obviously Jiva Goswami was just trying to protect the dignity of uh, Rupa Goswami, but Later, obviously, Sanatana Goswami brings Jiva Goswami back. So this is a verse which was actually the cause of this pastime. Yeah, Prabhu, please read.
Rupa Goswami now states the previously mentioned cause of pure bhakti by describing the opposite condition. Bhukti is a demoness because it covers the desire for bhakti with other desires. Mukti is a demoness because its reference point is oneself. Even though the devotees become liberated from samsara, liberation is not at all their goal. However, by the power of bhakti, they do become liberated. The meaning of the verse is that desires for enjoyment and liberation are not proper for some sadhaka and are not at all present in the perfected devotee.
Yeah. So Jiva Goswami is writing in the commentary that Rupa Goswami earlier he mentioned na nirvinno na atishakto, that a devotee should not be too much detached, then he will become qualified for Jnana Marga. Okay, and na atisakto, he should not be too attached to sense gratification, then he will be qualified for Karma Marga. So now he is saying it in a different word. The same thing he is telling that one should not be actually too much having desire for bhukti or too much having desire for mukti. That should not be focus of bhakti basically, he is telling. Because the desire for bhukti and mukti both are against the uttama bhakti. And to some degree, bhukti is okay. There should not be too much they're absent before starting to practice bhakti, not while practicing bhakti, before. Because when he was doing bhakti or enjoying sense objects, he was using the sense objects for his own service. But when he started practicing bhakti, he should use the sense objects now for Krishna's service. Okay, suppose somebody was not using any sense objects only. He was a completely detached person, completely a jnana person, jnani person. Then he was not using sense objects before practicing bhakti. Now, when he is trying to practice bhakti, he will have lot of difficulty in using those sense objects in bhakti. Okay. So somebody thinks that relationships are not good, and he is a jnani basically. They consider that any relationship in this material world is not good. It's a cause of bondage. It's a cause of so much of disturbance and unhappiness. So what will happen? He will not be able to establish a relationship with Krishna also, thinking that this will also cause some unhappiness like that. So one should not be too much detached, not too much attached. So same thing is being said here in opposite way. Okay. So bhakti is the sorry, bhukti is compared to is a demoness because it covers anyabhilashita shunyam. That thing should be there, but it's covering that. And mukti is also a demoness because it's reference pointed oneself. Means one wants liberation. Why? Because he himself doesn't want to suffer. Okay, there is no relationship about God or anybody else. He himself want to come out of suffering and reference point is oneself. For himself, he want to get liberated. Okay. Whereas bhakti is, he wants to do it for pleasure of Krishna. Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam. Okay. Favorable to Krishna. So always one has to keep in mind what I am doing. Is it going to be pleasing to Krishna or not? Is it going to be pleasing to Guru or not? Like that. So even though the devotees become liberated from samsara, liberation is not at all their goal. So it's not that Krishna will say, okay, you don't want liberation, right? I'll keep you in the middle world. No, they will surely become liberated from samsara. Krishna is more eager than the devotees to liberate them and bring them back to his abode. But the goal of bhakti or practice of bhakti, the goal is not liberation. The goal, our goal is to please Krishna, and Krishna has all the ways and means that he will apply to give us comfort while trying to practice bhakti. He will do all his things, but we should not be having that mood that yes, Krishna, I'm chanting today 16 rounds, I'm going for Mangalati, I'm doing bhakti. Please remember me. I have to go back to Godhead. I'm doing it until unless I go back to Godhead. So how can I do bhakti? All these background thoughts should not be there. Okay. So that is not the impetus of doing our bhakti, doing our chanting, reading, hearing, anything. The impetus is that I can please Krishna, Guru and Krishna, like that. So obviously, by the power of bhakti, everybody will become liberated. There is no doubt about it. Okay. But that is not the goal of our practice. Okay. So even the goal to attain bhava, it's not that we want to advance, but it is because we can establish a relationship with Krishna. At the stage of bhava, sthai bhav arrives, in which we have a relationship with Krishna. And what do we want to do with that relationship? In that relationship, we have identity now that we can please Krishna in a certain relationship. So that is the goal is always pleasing Krishna, whether we are doing sadhana or whether we reach to the stage of bhava or we reach to the stage of prema. Always the goal is to please Krishna only, like that. And Krishna, his goal is always to please his devotees. Okay, that's right. So the meaning of the verse is that desires for enjoyment and liberation are not proper for sadhaka. And when one becomes siddha, here he is saying are and at all not at all present. And it will surely be not there in a perfected devotee. And then after this, at least 20 to 30 shlokas, Rupa Goswami quotes from Shrimad Bhagavatam, starting from first canto and remaining of the fourth chapter of NOD also, is just quotations by Srila Prabhupada. What Rupa Goswami has quoted. Two, three only I have quoted here, and I have skipped many of them. But Rupa Goswami goes on quoting at least 20 to 30 shlokas to give this proof that devotees don't want liberation and they don't want anything to enjoy like that. Yes, Prabhu, you have any question, Amit Prabhu?
Guruji,
Yeah.
question on Mukti.
Okay.
How do we define Mukti? Going back to Godhead.
Yeah.
You know, the whole philosophy is that how do we come out of the rat race? So
Hmm.
going back to Godhead is of course going back and serve Krishna. But how do we look at Mukti here?
How do we look at Mukti here,
Mukti.
right?
So
Mukti.
yeah. So is it
Mukti.
not also getting out of the cycle of birth and
Hmm.
death?
Yeah. Very true. Yeah. Mukti means coming out of samsara. Sarati iti samsara. Sarati means that which always moves is samsara. Samsara means which always keeps moving. So we want to come out of this again cycle of birth and death. Correct. So that is called mukti. But the thing is, one doesn't have to go out of the material world to attain this mukti. One can be very much in the material world and experience mukti or experience prema or experience the abode of Krishna, Vrindavan. Okay. Golok Vrindavan. That everything can be experienced here. Okay. So it's only a thing of advancement. As one advances, one can very much feel that the Vrindavan which is present in this on this earth is actually non-different from Golok Vrindavan. Okay, so this is actually the conclusion of obviously Brihad Bhagavatamritam also we were hearing. So that Vrindavan and this Vrindavan actually there is no difference. If one actually is advanced, he can see those pastimes which are happening there in this Vrindavan itself, in the Bhauma Vrindavan. So now coming back to the question that what is liberation then? Liberation is just attaining a relationship with Krishna in the stage of bhava or attaining prema for Krishna, let's say that love of Godhead, attaining love of Godhead, whether it is here or whether it is there, the devotee is liberated. Okay, it's not about change of place, it's about the change of consciousness actually. That's why he says, Narayana parasarve na kutaschana vibhyati swarga apavarga narkeshu apitulya artha darshinaha. So whether it is swarga, whether it is narka, or whether it is apavarga, means beyond the material world. The devotee consider everything equal. Okay, like that. Because everywhere there is uh, his consciousness with him in which he can do service to Krishna. So it's not about change of place, it's about advancement and change of consciousness. Okay. And obviously we have five types of liberation, Salukya, Sarupya, Samipya. All these are there, which are to say that beyond this material world, there is a place where we can go and get liberated. That is obviously there. But for us specifically, it is about more being in the mode of uh, in that consciousness. Okay, na?
Yes, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Okay. So this verse is not from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It's second canto verse, but it's put here to show a contrast between the desire for mukti and desire for bhakti. Among both of them, the mukti desire is more troubling and more detrimental or more corroding the pure bhakti. Okay, so for that contrast, it is brought here, not that Rupa Goswami has put it in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu at this place. अकामः सर्वकामो वा मोक्षकाम उदारधिः तीव्रेण भक्ति योगेन यजेत पुरुषं परम. Yeah, Prabhu, please read this.
The person desiring destruction of all desires, the person with all desires, and even the person with an intense desire for liberation, if he has good intelligence, will worship the Supreme Lord with pure bhakti.
Yeah. So three categories of people are said. Akamaha. First, those people who don't have any desires. Okay. Like devotees. Okay. Then Sarva Kamaha. The person with all kinds of desires. Like mainly the Karma Yogi, those who are trying to enjoy. And Moksha Kamaha. Those who want moksha. Person with a intense desire of liberation. Moksha Kamaha. This third. So among all these three, it is said that, okay, let's first complete the translation. Udaradhi, if they are having udaradhi means good intelligence, then what they will do, all these three category of people, tivrena bhakti yogena, they will all do bhakti yoga only. And in that bhakti yoga, what they will do, whom they will worship, yajeta purusham param, they will worship only Vishnu or Krishna. Okay. For attaining all these three goals, they will do what? Pure bhakti only. By pure bhakti, all these three things can be attained. Mukti, bhukti, as well as bhakti. All things can be attained. But the question arises, akamaha means having no desire. Sarvakamaha means having all kinds of desire. Does this second category not include third also? Because having a desire for mukti is also a kind of desire, right? Already you told sarvakam, which is like a big set. Okay, this is like set full two. In that one of the desires is mukti also third. Correct. There are so many other desires which are there. One of them is also mukti. Is it not like this? Why we have to put, why did Sukdev Goswami put this separately, mokshkam? So it is explained here in this commentary we will read that this mokshkam is such a different and intense desire that it has been classified separately. Okay. It's a very, very intense desire compared to all the types of desires which are available, sarvakam, to enjoy the senses or any other desire. Among all of them, the most difficult one or the most intense one is mokshkam. Okay. Yeah, please read. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Sorry, Prabhuji. The order is Akama, Sarvakama, and Mokshakama. What does it indicate? The word kama itself indicates a desire to destroy suffering and attain happiness. Those desires are shown to be stronger in the jnanis, engaged in destroying the suffering of all their samsara and anxious for the experience of the happiness of Brahman, than in the karmis who desire to destroy temporary suffering and gain temporary happiness of Swarga by worshipping Devatas.
Yeah. So kama itself indicates desire to destroy suffering and attain happiness. This is called kama. Everybody wants this. This is common with everybody. But what is the special thing about this moksha kam? So he says the desires are shown to be stronger in the jnanis. They have much more intense desire than anybody has desire to enjoy senses. The bhukti, the people who are trying to enjoy the senses, don't have so much intensity to enjoy as much these people have the intensity to attain liberation. Okay. So the jnanis have very strong desire to get liberated and destroy suffering. Okay, and attain happiness of Brahman. Then in the karmis who are having desire to destroy temporary suffering and gain temporary happiness of Swarga. They want permanent, these Gyanis, they want permanent destruction and they want permanent happiness of Brahman. So that's why their desire is very intense actually. These people who are karmis, they want to destroy their temporary suffering and temporary happiness, all these things like that. Okay, so here it is said that desire is categorized into two parts. So desire for enjoyment and liberation are not at all present in the perfected devotee. This we saw. Bhukti and Mukti are not present. And devotees who are absorbed in bliss of service to the lotus feet of Krishna should not desire also, should never desire liberation. Okay, these two things are said by Rupa Goswami. This for this proof he gives many verses that the desire for enjoyment liberation are not present in perfected devotee, and devotees who are absorbed in bliss of service should also never desire liberation. Okay, both the things are given. So few proofs he gives, and okay, before that we'll see Prabhupada's comment on this. Yeah, please read.
A pure,
Yeah.
a pure devotee never cares for liberation. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prayed to Krishna, "My dear son of Nanda, I do not want any material happiness in the shape of many followers, nor immense opulence in wealth, nor any beautiful wife, nor do I want cessation from the material existence. I may take birth many times, one after another, but what I pray from you is that my devotion unto you may always remain unflinching." The attention of a pure devotee is so much attracted to glorification of the Lord's pastimes, name, qualities, forms, etc., that the devotee does not care for mukti.
Yeah. So this first point, sorry, the second point we saw right here, the devotees are so much absorbed in the bliss of service that they never desire liberation. The same thing Prabhupada is saying by quoting the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is acting as a sadhaka hmm, in the devotee's role. So he say that I never desire any na janam, na dhanam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagdish kamaye. Mama janmani janmani ishvare bhavatad ishvare ahetuki tvai. Same thing he is quoting. And the attention of a pure devotee is so much attracted to glorification of the pastimes of Krishna, names of Krishna, qualities of Krishna and his form, that the devotee does not care for mukti. He doesn't have this desire at all because he is so much absorbed in glorifying Krishna. Yeah, continue.
Srila, Srila Bilavam,
Bilva Mangal.
Bilvamangala Thakur has said, "If I am engaged in devotional service unto you, my dear Lord, then very easily can I perceive you, your presence everywhere. And as far as liberation is concerned, I think liberation stands at my door with folded hands waiting to serve me." To pure devotees, therefore, liberation and spiritual emancipation are not very important things.
So same thing he is saying that for pure devotees, he gave example from Bilva Mangal Thakur's life that how he being a perfected devotee, obviously later he became perfected. He is saying that liberation, I think, stands at my door. Mukti Mukulutanjali. She is just like a earlier Rupa Goswami also said, Chetikavat. The Mukti is like Chetikavat. It's like a uh, fearful maid servant following bhakti like that. The same thing he is saying that I think liberation stands at my door with folded hands waiting to serve me. Okay, so to pure devotee, therefore, liberation and spiritual emancipation are not very important things. What is more important? Pleasing Krishna, doing his bhakti like that. So for this, as I told, 20-30 verses actually Rupa Goswami gives in proof, starting from this verse number 23 till 45 around. So, okay, so, but we are not seeing all of them. We are just seeing one or two. So he says, Tatrapi cha visheshena gatim anvim anichatah bhaktir manah pranan premna tan kurute janan. Yeah.
By prema, the bhakti process, such as hearing, take possession of the mind and senses of persons who do not desire the goal of liberation at all.
Yeah. So those people, those devotees who do not desire liberation, that is the point. They don't have liberation as the goal of their practice. Then for them, what happens? By prema, the bhakti process, such as hearing, take possession of the mind and senses. Okay. For them, bhakti process will do what? Take possession of their mind and senses by process such as hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. Correct. All these things, 9 limbs and 64 limbs. By doing all these, what will happen? The bhakti will take possession of their mind and senses. Okay. By prema, at the stage of prema. For whom this will happen, but so the very clear cut thing is said, who do not desire the goal of liberation. Okay. So, anichataha, they are having what? Anichataha. Okay. They have no desire for such thing. Okay. For them, bhakti, hritamanaha will take away their mind, pranan, premana, by the effect of prema in these people. Janam, janana. Yeah, please read.
This verse speaks of the excellence of bhakti, which is devoid of desire for liberation. Anvim gatim, minute or subtle goal, refers to liberation. Bhakti indicates the processes such as hearing. These processes take possession of devotees' minds and senses through the influence of prema. That means their minds and senses become bhakti itself by the influence of prema. The activities of bhakti are purely spiritual, though expressed through our senses and mind, while we are embodied because of the influence of the Lord's spiritual energy. This becomes perfect at the stage of prema.
Yeah. So he is saying, for those who are devoid of desire for liberation, for these people, prema will take its effect or bhakti will take its complete effect. Okay, if to the degree that people have the desire for liberation, going back to Godhead, to that degree, bhakti, Uttama bhakti will not manifest its effect. Okay, so something which is a minute or subtle goal, okay, it refers to the goal of liberation. Very subtle, very difficult to identify that he has this goal of going back to Godhead, okay, and getting away from misery like Gyanis have. Okay, so bhakti, what is bhakti? Bhakti indicates the processes such as hearing, reading, chanting, all these things. These processes take the position of devotee's mind and senses, pranan. How? Through the influence of prema, premana. Through prema, mind and senses of devotees will be influenced, and and bhakti will take possession of them. So their mind and senses, the devotees who have reached the stage of prema, become bhakti itself by the influence of prema. Because the whole body he will have is Satchidananda body. Okay, so his whole thing will be influenced by prema. So the activities of bhakti are purely spiritual. Okay, though expressed through our senses, mind. Okay, while we are embodied because of the influence of the Lord's spiritual energy. So this is an important point. So this is applicable even for sadhaka. This is explained in Brihad Bhagavatamrita also, that how a devotee while he is chanting, okay. So we say na Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriye sevan mukhe hi jivado swayameva spurati adha Atah Shri Krishna Namadi. Okay. Through the chanting of Krishna's name and other limbs, okay, na bhavet grahyam indriya hai. Although these things are not to be attained by the by the material senses actually. Then what is the solution? Sevon mukhe hi jihvado. One should start doing seva, starting from tongue, that is honoring prasad and chanting. Swayameva sphurati adha. Then by itself the bhakti will manifest in the senses and mind. So that is the reference, that is the proof that The devotees doing chanting, reading, hearing, all these things don't happen to their from their material senses, but actually the spiritual energy manifests in the senses, our senses, and then only we can do this spiritual activity like reading, hearing, chanting, other limbs of bhakti. That is what is being said in this verse. And when one reaches the stage of prema, completely one's senses are taken up by the internal energy. Okay, this becomes perfect at the stage of prema. So to the degree one is advanced in bhakti, to that degree, the material senses are taken over by the spiritual energy, antaranga shakti. And then now he starts giving the proof. Okay, yeah, just we can read the translation. Okay, yes.
To the devotees whose minds and senses have been stolen at- by the attractive limbs of the Lord, which contain pleasing words, glances, smiles, and pastimes, and which fulfill their desires, Bhakti offers them liberation, though they do not desire it.
Hmm. So bhakti offers liberation, but they don't have a desire for it. अनिच्छा तो हाँ उनकी इच्छा नहीं है. They don't have iksha. For whom these things happen? The devotees whose minds and senses have been stolen. Hrit manasaha, hrit atmano, hrit pranan. Okay, they have been stolen away by the attractive limbs of the Lord. For them, the desire for liberation doesn't exist. Like that. This is from third canto, Lord Kapila Dev sections, Devahuti. Okay, another one he is giving as a proof, 25th shloka. Devotees who are absorbed in the bliss of service of the lotus feet of Krishna should never desire liberation. Shri Krishna Charnam Bhoja Seva Nivritta Chetasam Esham Mokshaya Bhaktanam Na Kadachit Spriha Bhavet. Kadachit, never ever. What? Spriha Bhavet, desire does not come. For what? Mokshaya, for attaining moksha. Among whom? For whom? For the Bhaktanam, for the devotees. For which kind of devotees? Shri Krishna Charanam Bhoja Seva. Those who have actually nivritta chetasam, given up their consciousness completely absorbed into Shri Krishna Charana Ambhoja Seva. Absorbed consciousness into the Seva of the lotus feet of the Lord for them. Then he quotes again from third canto. Okay, so yeah, please read the translation.
What among the four goals of Artha, Dharma, Kama, and Moksha is difficult to achieve for one who worships your lotus feet? O Lord, I therefore do not accept these things, since I am enthusiastically engaged in serving your lotus feet.
Yeah. So one is enthusiastically engaged in serving the lotus feet. For them, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all four, not only first three, all four are not accepted. I do not accept these things. Okay, so he's saying what among the four goals is difficult to achieve? It's not difficult to achieve for devotees.
Mm.
Very easily Krishna gives, but I am not wanting it. I don't accept it. Okay, since I am enthusiastically engaged in serving your lotus feet, because I am serving your lotus feet. So I don't want to give up. I don't want to reduce the experience of serving your lotus feet by by having these kind of desires. Like that, as I said, many verses he gives as a reference that devotees don't ask for liberation. And this is a very famous shloka. Salokya sarishti samipya sarupyamaikatvam api uta diyamanam na grihnanti vina matsevanam janaha. So he is saying Salokya sarishti samipya sarupya ekatvam. These five types of liberation are not accepted. Na grihnanti are not accepted. By whom? Mat sevanam jana. Those people who are serving me, they don't accept these five types of liberation. Why? Because matsevanam janaha, vina matsevanam janaha. Okay, because there may be a chance that one may not get the service. If it is like one does not get the service and these five types of liberation are awarded, devotees don't want. So what he says here, when these things are offered unless it involves service to me. So devotees sometimes may accept, they go back to Godhead also if there is service. If the service is in material world, they will stay back here. Wherever is the service, they will do their service there. If it is in spiritual world, if it requires them to be in spiritual world to do their service, they will go there. If it requires them to be in the material world, they will stay here. Main important thing is what? Seva. Okay, seva is more prominent, more important than liberation. Okay, that is what is being said in this verse. So the first question devotees ask the Lord, okay, will there be seva or not? Okay, whether it is in the liberated condition or in the material world, that is not very important. Yeah. So this we know. Yeah, Salokya means same planet with the Lord. Sarishti, similar powers. Samipya, closeness to the Lord. Sarupya, having similar form, 400 form like Vishnu has. Ekatva means merging the Brahman. This devotees don't want ever. So even if Lord gives these four kinds of liberation to devotees, they do not accept. What to speak of desiring such things? They don't accept only, even if it is given. So they will never desire also, obviously. So even if some of the devotees we see they accept, like Prahlad Maharaj says that, oh Lord, please take me back to your Godhead. Why? So he says, because I am feeling the trouble here, I am not able to remember you and do your service nicely in the material world because of the disturbance of the material world, he says. So in that condition, some of them also want, if the service is getting hampered, because the Smaranam is getting hampered. Prahlad Maharaj is Acharya for Smaranam. So they accept them only for service to the Lord. Vinamat sevanam janaha. If the service is hampered, then they will want whatever is needed. Okay. So any questions before we go to the next topic? Hmm.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mate.
Prabhuji, in many pastimes we have seen, like even for Prabhupada, it is somewhere in his talks he has mentioned that I never wanted to come to this material world, but Krishna
Yeah.
sent me.
Yeah.
So how to understand this? Like many exalted devotees, because they have their service in the spiritual world, that's why they were not willing to come to the material world at all. Like in even in the case of Radharani also, she was saying that this is a very dark. You are sending me to this dark well? So is it because they have their own service over there? That's why they are not interested in coming to a material world. Uh, shall we understand like this?
No, these are like the part of pastimes which they are saying. Radharani, what she is saying, yeah. Obviously, every day of Brahma, when Krishna comes, all their other associates also come. Radharani also comes. Yeah. So it's not like that. I don't know which pastime you are referring. Maybe I think you are saying about that curse which was given, and okay, that is also a pastime only that she has
Uh,
to come.
Prabhuji, it's mentioned in the pastime where it is said that Radharani was born with closed eyes.
Oh,
Eyes. So there she took promise from Krishna that first person she will see will be Krishna only. That's why she closed her eyes and she doesn't
okay.
wanted to see anyone else in this dark material world. So
Okay.
there she mentions that I don't want to go there. There is no Yamuna, there is no Vrindavan, there is no Govardhan. So then Krishna manifested everything over there. So
Yeah, these are part of pastimes to say it in that way so that these manifestations will come. It's not that they don't want to come. Like that, every time, every day of Brahma, obviously, all the associates of Krishna come. And they have only one fear, that I don't want to lose association of Krishna when they have separation. Then obviously they feel distress. In our eyes, it seems like distress, but they are having lot of uh, affection for Krishna even in that separation also. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So and Prabhupada pastime, what you said there also. Prabhupada mentioned this, but he doesn't say like what he was saying is that I don't want to go to metal world. Okay, like obviously he is going to come to metal world in the sense that he will lose association of Krishna. He was saying in that sense, but yeah, pure devotees when they come to a metal world, they are never separated from Krishna. Prabhupada himself told that there was never a time I forgot Krishna like that. Okay, so these are part of pastimes only, Mataji. And so what was the original question you were asking is I didn't get these two things you quoted. What was the question?
My question was, Prabhuji, that as you mentioned that all the pure devotees are not even willing to go to a spiritual world because if there is no seva.
Yeah,
And
okay, okay. Yeah, you said yeah, Seva is there. That's why you don't want to come. That was the
right.
question, no? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah. I have not heard anything like this. That for them, what is there in spiritual world? Same thing is in material world. Uppercut Vrindavan is same as Golok Vrindavan. There is no difference. So it's the same thing. But yeah, as matter of pastime only, they are saying they are doing the same service what they are doing there here. The same way they are giving pleasure to Krishna there, here also they give. And it's not that the Golok Vrindavan, when they come from there to here, so everybody is absent in Golok Vrindavan. They are having their presence there also. They expand and come to this material world. Just like that Vrindavan expands and come to this material world. Like that, they also expand and come. So it's not that they are going to lose something. They are there also. They come back here. And then they do the pastimes and then go back. It is like that. Okay. So it's not in that sense that they are having their service. That's why they don't want to come. They are always there also and here also. Is it okay?
yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Prabhuji,
So
one follow-up question,
yeah,
Prabhuji.
yeah, 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 please.
Actually, when this is said ki, the pure devotees are there also and here also, and then after they're completing their pastimes, they go back. So it will
Correct.
become two of those devotees, or it will be merged. Because
No,
we
no,
say
they,
that soul never
yeah.
merges, and then identity is getting merged. Like how to understand this thing also.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So good question. This actually they have like Narad Muni. He is there in Vaikuntha also. He is there in Dwarka also. He has many expansions. And in Metal World also he comes. When Krishna is here, he comes also. So they have many, many forms which expand. And just like I gave example, Vrindavan, he is there in Golok Vrindavan also. It has expanded and come to this Metal World. Correct. And similarly, the devotees also
Yes.
expand and they come. So it's not that they become two different soul. The same person can expand. Okay. Even the great yogis like Kardama Muni and all, they could expand in many, many forms, 9 forms, hundreds of forms, they can expand. So the great devotees and those who are associated with Krishna, they can expand in unlimited number of ways. Okay. So it's not that the same soul is uh, getting expanded into another soul. Same person accepts another form. Okay, that is the meaning of expansion, vistar. Okay, na? So it's the same person who makes another identical uh, personality, and then it comes to the material world here. And then when they go back, the expansion merges in the original, and then same person is remaining. Okay, is it
So
understandable?
yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, so next he is speaking about gradations of mukti. So there are different levels of mukti. So some are Uttama Bhakti results, practicing Shuddha Bhakti. They will attain highest type of liberation, means in Golok Vrindavan. Somebody will attain lower and lower. So lower is the desire, more is the desire for enjoyment and desire for liberation. Lower is the gradation. Okay, that will be discussed here. More the person wants to have enjoyment to lesser degree of the spiritual world, he will reach, and to that lesser degree he will have relationship with also with Krishna. Okay, so just giving an example, let's say that there are so many floors in a building, and let's say 10 floors are there, from first to 10th floor. Highest floor may be Golok Vrindavan. So the person who has no absolute no desire for bhukti and mukti and worshipping Krishna will reach here. The person who has no desire for bhukti and mukti will reach, suppose, in a planet of Vaikuntha here, let's say 4th floor. Okay, he will reach here. A person who has little desire for bhukti and mukti will reach here, let's say the 3rd floor. Okay. And the person who has lot of desire for Bhukti and Mukti, okay, he will reach maybe, let's say, this planet, which is also in Vaikuntha. But the experience will be lesser. The enjoyment will be lesser. That is the thing. Okay. So this is in general. Some people also are there who have desire to enjoy, but they worship Krishna only. So they will not go to Vaikuntha then. Okay, no, because they worship Krishna. Krishna says, okay, he says that Yajanti Mam, the one who is doing my worship, he will come to me. Okay. He says the worshipper of Bhutganas will go to their planet. Worshipper of Pitris will go to their planet. Those who worship me will come to me. That is what he has said. So if he and Yeyathamam Prapadyante also he says. So those who worship Vishnu will go to Vishnu Loka. Those who worship Krishna will go to Krishna Loka. So please understand that in the worshipper of Vishnu also people can have desire for Bhukti and Mukti little bit. In the worshipper of Krishna also there they can have desire for Bhukti and Mukti little bit. But because of that desire, their experience or their enjoyment in that relationship with Krishna will be lesser. Okay. So this will be dealt more in detail in future chapters of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay. So with this understanding, let's see this. What types of people are there? What gradations of people are there? What gradation of mukti they attain? Okay. So first thing is being said here. This is 51st verse directly. As I told, in between there were many references Rupa Goswami quoted. Okay, which we have skipped. Quoted references for what? That devotees don't desire bhukti and mukti. Okay, that's what he gave reference in between. Now he says atra tyajyatvaiva loka atra tyajyatvaiva ukta mukti pancha vidhapi chet salokyadis tathapi atra bhaktya nati virudhyate. Okay, somebody else can read. Himanshu bro, you can read.
Though the five types of mukti have been described as worthy of rejection, Salokya, Sashti, Samipya, and Swarup are not so contrary to Bhakti.
Now Rupa Goswami, after giving all the proof, he says something which is apparently opposing to what he has established. He is saying na ati viruddhyate. Na means not, ati means too much, viruddhyate means opposing. It's not too much opposing. It's not so contradictory. Means, okay, it is contradictory, but it's not so much contradictory, like that he's saying. Means a little bit it can be accepted. Okay, little bit of it can be chalta hai, like that he says. He will explain what he means. So there are five types of mukti which was told: sarupya, sarishti, samipya, salokya, and aikatvam. These five types of mukti are there. They have been described as worthy of rejection. Tyajyata, tyajyatya. Okay, worthy of rejection. But it's not so contradictory to bhakti. Yeah, please read.
Though these four are not extremely contrary to Bhakti, they are contrary to a small degree, since they are accomplished with some unfavorable attribute. If the devotee has a desire for these four, independent of the desire to please the Lord, then Bhakti is no longer Anya Abhilashita Shunya. The favorable portion in this four is caused by the acceptance of some Bhakti.
Okay. So he is saying one thing, it's contrary to a small degree here. Okay, this bhukti and mukti desire are contrary to a small degree, since they are accomplished with some unfavorable attitude. What is that unfavorable attitude? Anya Bhilashita Shunyam is not there. Anya Bhilasha is there. So that's why it's unfavorable in the attitude of the devotee. If the devotee has a desire for these four, obviously fifth type of liberation is not desired. For these four, independent of the desire to please the Lord, if he is wanting liberation without this desire, pleasing the Lord is absent, but he wants liberation, then bhakti is no longer anyabhilashita. So what he is saying in essence, that if one wants liberation, it should be only for the purpose of service or to please the Lord. That is the understanding. Okay. Liberation can be accepted if it is pleasing to the Lord. Correct. Because the devotee's only goal is to please the Lord. To please Bhagwan is the goal of the devotee. If Bhagwan only says that, okay, you accept liberation, then devotee will accept. In that case, he accepts. The favorable portion in this form 4 is caused by acceptance of some bhakti. Okay. So he will accept if it is going to have some service or it's supporting his bhakti or Krishna wants it, then he accepts liberation. Or he accepts some sense objects also to use it in bhakti. Okay, so we are using so many objects for Krishna service. Why? Because it is helping us in serving. And now he starts with the gradation. So first he told, so the devotees may accept these things if it is helping in their service or if it is the desire of Krishna. So he gives the first gradation now. Okay, let's say not first grade. Okay. 3 grades he will give. 3 levels. Okay. So this is the third level, basically lowest. Sukha Aishwarya Uttara Seyam Prema Sevottaritti Api Salokya Adir Dvidha Tatra Na Adya Seva Jushammata. Yeah, please read.
There are two varieties of these four types of liberation. One predominated by the desire for happiness and power, and the other predominated by the desire for prem. The first variety is not accepted by those who are inclined to serve the Lord.
Yeah. So now 2 varieties he is mentioning in this shloka. Sukha Aishwarya Uttara. First. Second. Prem Sevottara. These 2 categories of liberation is being told in this verse. Dvidha. So he says 2 varieties of these 4 types of liberation. What are the 4 types? Except ekatvam. Except merging. Other 4. Salokya, Sarishti, Samipya, Sarupya, Sarishti. These 4. Okay, now he says these 4 types have 2 varieties. First one, Sukha Aishwarya Uttara. Sukha means desire for happiness. Aishwarya, power. Uttara means predominated. Means they have lot of desire for Sukha and Aishwarya and little bit desire for Seva of Krishna. So these devotees are like, all I want to do is service for Krishna, but with Sukha and Aishwarya. Okay. So they want a place in spiritual world where they will have Sukha and Aishwarya. For what do they want? So that they can serve Krishna. Okay. So it's not very pure desire. It's bhakti desire only. They want to serve Krishna only, but in a place where there will be Sukha and Aishwarya only. Okay. This is first level. Second, he says the other predominated by desire for prema. Here the predominance is of prema. Only thing they want to do is service to Krishna, but little bit there is also desire of Sukha and Aishwarya. This is second category. First one, Sukha and Aishwarya is major. Little bit there is prema also. Second one, prema is major. Little bit Sukha and Aishwarya is also there. Okay. So the first one, okay, it has 2 compartments. There is Sukha and Aishwarya. This is major. And little bit there is prema. This is first one. Sukha Aishwarya Uttara. Second one, they have the major prema. And little bit there is Sukha and Aishwarya. Okay. These 2. So obviously, because their desires are different, their experience and enjoyment in a spiritual world, the happiness which they get, the rasa which they experience will be different. So the second will experience more than first. Because prema is more, the relationship with Krishna is close, the experience will be better They will be closely related to Krishna. They will have very good relationship with Krishna, very close relationship with Krishna. And they can express Krishna or Vishnu wherever they go. Okay, they may go to Vaikuntha, they may go to Krishna Loka. Wherever, whichever person they worship, they will go there. Somebody worship Vishnu, he will go to Vaikuntha. Whoever worships Krishna will go to Goloka Vrindavan. Okay, but the experience will be different. What example can we give? Just like there is, suppose a great college, IIT college is there. So in the IIT college, there are different levels of people also who experience different levels of happiness. There may be people who are in the working in the canteen, some cook. There will be people who are sweeping, okay, cleaning. So their experience in IIT is not the same experience as the students and as the professors. Correct. Their experience will be different. They will be given different respect or whatever. The experience you can see in the same campus is different. In the same way, in Vaikuntha or in Golok Vrindavan, the campus or the place is same, but the experience which they are getting is different. Why? Because that's what they wanted. Somebody wanted less relationship with Krishna, so they had less prema. So their experience is lesser. And somebody who had more prema toward Krishna, their experience is better. Okay, so this is what is two types. And now third type will be explained later. Okay, I'm just saying here, those who are Kevala Bhakta. Means though they don't have anything other than prema. Okay, only prema. Okay, and there is no other second part. Small also. Only prema 100%. Okay, so they have full rasa developed. Full rasa with Krishna. Full relationship, full-fledged relationship with Krishna. In Vatsalya Rasa, Dasya Rasa, Sakhya Rasa, and uh, okay, which one? Madhurya. Yeah. So all these four rasas, they have fully manifested rasa, fully manifested relationship. This Kevala Bhakta, Uttama Bhakti. Okay. But others, they will go to Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka, Golok Vrindavan, but they will not have full-fledged rasa. Okay. No rasa here full-fledged with Krishna. Here also not full-fledged rasa with Krishna. Okay. But it is surely better than this category. They have very low relationship with Krishna. They have quite good relationship with Krishna. And here the rasa is of the highest manifestation, highest degree here. Okay. So these are the three categories. Okay. So now finally to give the gradation 3 greater than 2 greater than 1. Okay. This is the final gradation. 3 is Kevala Bhakta. 2 is that which have more prema, less sukha and aishwarya. Means they want to do service to Krishna with little bit sukha and aishwarya. And first one is they want to do service of Krishna, but more they want sukha and aishwarya in Vaikuntha. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Now we will see the commentary on this. Yeah, please read.
Devotees do not accept the first variety. This is understood in the previous verse, Saloka Sashti Samipya, quoted in the verse 28. If the four types of liberation are not accompanied by service, they are rejected. Because ekatva or oneness with Lord is always without service. The devotee is always rejected.
Okay. So same thing. Previously it was told for devotees, Sukha and Aishwarya, Uttara, first ones. Majorly Sukha and Aishwarya. Devotees means those who are wanting higher relationship with Krishna, they don't accept. But there are many other people who don't want so much relationship with Krishna. They don't want to practice Uttama Bhakti, but they want Sukha and Aishwarya. And Krishna tells, whoever worships me will come back to me. Okay, he did not say there you have to worship me only in Shuddha Bhakti, then only you will come to me. Not like that. Okay, you worship me, you will come to me. Like that. So Salokya Sarishti Samipya. So all these things are generally not asked by those who are Uttama Bhakti practitioners. Okay, they may accept if there is service. Vina mat sevanam jana, without service, They don't want this liberation. Ekatva, anyhow, they don't want. Yeah, please read. Okay, yeah, this shloka is there. Now, third category is being described. Kintu premaika madhurya jusha ekantino haro naiva angikurute jatu muktim pancha vidhamapi. But those prem aika madhurya, those who want prema only prema, that third category I told. Yeah, please read the translation.
Devotees solely attached to the Lord who relish the sweetness of prema never accept the five types of liberation at all.
Yeah. So those who are Uttama Bhakti practitioners, the devotees, they are solely attached to Krishna's pleasure. They relish the sweetness of prema. Okay, prema eka madhurya jusa. They are ikantino. Their only goal is to please Hari. They don't want any sukha and ashwarya. Na angikurutvate, naiva angikuruttve. They don't embrace. What? Muktim, panch vidham api. Even these five types of liberation. They do not accept these five types of liberation. Even prem uttara. Even though there may be the second one, prem sevottara. Little bit. Sukha and ashwarya also they don't accept. Little sukha, little ashwarya also they don't accept, which was the second category. So this is the third category of devotees, which are called Kevala Bhakta. Okay. They don't want little sukha or ashwarya also. They are so completely attached to Lord's service, pleasure of the Lord, like that. Yeah, please read this.
By the use of the word uttara, predominance, a little desire for sukha and aishwarya is indicated in that prem seva. However, the devotees do not desire that portion, and therefore they reject prem seva uttara mukti also. For the pure devotees, those four types of liberation are achieved as secondary items by service.
Yeah. So those who are practitioners of Uttama Bhakti, they do not desire even little bit of Prem Sevottara thing. They want fully only Prem Seva. Okay, this I explained. Okay, so he quotes one verse here. Yeah, please read.
The other four liberation, although not desired by devotees,
Okay, this is Srila Prabhupada's comment. Yeah, read.
the other four liberations, although not desired by devotees, still are not against the devotional idols. Some of the liberated persons who have achieved these four stages of liberation may also develop affection for Krishna and be promoted to the Golok Vrindavan planet in the spiritual sky. So those who are in the four liberated states may still be going through different stages of existence. In the beginning, they may want the opulence of Krishna, but at the mature stage, the dormant love for Krishna exhibited in Vrindavan becomes prominent in their hearts. As such, the pure devotees never accept the liberation of Sayuja to become one with the Supreme, though sometimes they may accept as a favorable the the other four liberated states.
So Prabhupada is explaining that verse, na ati viruddhyate. Correct, that verse which we started from this section, Rupa Goswami told that these four liberations, except the ekatvam, merging, these four are not very contrary. Rupa Goswami told in beginning, right? So, nati viruddhyate, that Prabhupada is explaining. The other four liberations, although they are not desired by devotees, they are not wanted by devotees, those who are ideal devotees, Uttama Bhakti. Some of the liberated persons who have achieved these four stages, Sarupyam, Salokyam, etc., they may also develop affection for Krishna and promote it to the Golok Vrindavan planet in the spiritual sky. This is very important thing what Prabhupada is saying. Sometimes devotees also ask, those who are present in Vaikuntha, can they go to Goloka? So here Prabhupada is answering, yes, that is possible. And once more it will come later. Once more he will answer. From Vaikuntha to go to Krishna Loka is possible. Here he is saying, even those who are liberated persons who have achieved these four stages, they can be promoted to Golok Vrindavan planet in the spiritual sky. Okay. So those who are in four liberated states may still be going through different stages of existence. Even though they may be liberated, but they can go higher and higher. Okay. But once one has attained a relationship with Krishna, it's not that they can go anywhere lower. That is highest. Okay, they will stay there. Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, Vatsalyaras, Madhuryaras with Krishna is attained, then that is permanent. Okay, so this is what he is saying. So in the beginning, they may want the opulence of Krishna, Sukha and Aishwarya, right? Same thing Prabhupada is saying. They may want opulence, Aishwarya. But at the mature stage of mature stage, the dormant love of Krishna exhibited in Vrindavan becomes prominent. Okay. So in the mature state, they will attain the mature love, which is completely free from Sukha and Aishwarya. No contamination of Sukha and Aishwarya. Okay. How this will happen? By association of devotees who are practitioners of Uttama Bhakti or who are perfected Bhava Bhakti, Prema Bhakti, all this. By their association, this will happen. To give up the desire for Sukha and Aishwarya, how it will happen? By their association. And as such, pure devotees never accept these five types of liberation until unless, though sometimes they may accept as favorable the other four liberated states until unless when they have some service. Correct. That we saw the reference. Vinamat sevanam jana. If there is some service involved, then they will accept it. Okay. Any question here till now what we discussed? So he described three types of people who want liberation. Sorry, not who want liberation. Three types of devotees. So first he told Sukhashwarya Uttara. Then second Prem Seva Uttara. Third is Kevala. Only those who want service to Krishna and their play and his pleasure. So next topic he says among these all types of people, three grades. Okay, among the three grades which was explained till now, of among all of them, Prema Bhakta, worshippers of Govinda are the best. Means the devotees of Krishna are best. They experience the highest sweetness, highest happiness in relationship with Krishna because these worshippers don't have any desire for Sukha and no desire for Aishwarya. They want only pleasure of Krishna. So they have highest manifestation of rasa, highest degree of pleasure. Okay. So now he quotes Tatrapi among all of these Ekantinam Sreshtha Govinda Hritamanasaha Yesham Srisha Prasado api Manohartum na Saknuyat. Yeah, please read the translation. Okay, wait, somebody else can read who has not read it. Yeah, Vrajanand Krishna Prabhu, you want to read?
Among the devotees who are dedicated solely to serving the Lord in prema, the devotees whose hearts have been stolen by Govinda are the best. Even the kindness of the Narayan or other forms of Krishna cannot steal their hearts.
Yeah. So among all these three types, Ekanti Nam are there, right? Those who don't want Sukha and Aishwarya. Correct. Among the devotees who are dedicated solely to service of the Lord, these Ekanti Nam devotees, there are special types of people among these all people. There are devotees Ekanti Nam in Vaikuntha also. Those who have prema for Vishnu, like Hanuman, Garuda. Okay. They don't have any desire for Sukha and Aishwarya. They are present in Vaikuntha, means including Ayodhya, all these things. But among all these Ekanti, means they don't want any Sukha and Aishwarya. They don't have any ulterior motive in worshipping Krishna. Among all these, there are some special people, special category. Who are they? The devotees whose hearts have been stolen by Govinda. Okay, Govinda. Okay, is Krishna. here, who is present in Goloka Vrindavan. Those devotees, the devotees of Goloka Vrindavan, are the best among all of these people. So among this third category also, Kevala Bhakti, among the Ekantina in Kevala Bhaktas, those who don't want Sukha and Aishwarya, okay, among them, those who are in Golok Vrindavan, the worshippers of Govinda, they are best, he is saying. Even the kindness of Narayana, Srisha Prasado, Sri Isha. Sri is Lakshmi, Isha is master or husband. Husband of Lakshmi is called Shrisha, Narayana. Okay, Srisha Prasadopi, even the kindness of Narayana or other forms of Krishna, okay, like Rama, Narsimha, all these, cannot steal their hearts. Who's those who are worshippers of Govinda, those whose hearts have been stolen by Govinda. Govinda Hritmanasaha. Okay, so they are highest. Yeah, please read.
Of the Prema Bhaktas, worshipper of the Govindas are the best. Govinda here refers to Krishna, the Lord of Gokula. I repeatedly offer respects to Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, who gave joy to Devaki, who was a child of Nanda and satisfier of the senses of the gopis. The verse Isha, meaning the Lord Isha of the spiritual sky Sri, Narayana, also includes Krishna in his form as the Lord of Dwarka.
So even the Lord of Dwarka who is there, his devotees are also not as good as the devotees of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. That is what is said. Okay, Srisha. Srisha includes Dwarka, Krishna. Krishna present in Dwarka. Okay, so Krishna in Vraja and his devotees are the highest. That's what is being said. And there is a reference given that Govinda means Krishna from this verse of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. So Govinda refers to Krishna. This is the proof. Devaki Nandan is who? Is Krishna. Nandagopa is who? Krishna. Okay. Now he says सिद्धांतस्तु अभेदेपि श्रीश कृष्ण स्वरूपयोः रसेन उत्कृष्यते कृष्ण रूपम ऐसा रसस्थितिः. Yeah, please read the translation.
Though the forms of Vishnu and Krishna are non-different according to the statements of scriptures, Krishna's form is shown to be superior because of his rasas, which are endowed with the highest type of prema. The very nature of his rasa shows the Krishna's form to be superior.
So he said, very, very important shloka, this, that just now we told that the Vishnu form and the devotees of Vishnu are not so best as the devotees of Krishna, and even Krishna's form in Dwarka is not so good as Krishna. Later also Rupa Goswami will say that Krishna has 64 qualities and even the Vishnu has only 60 qualities, he will say. Okay, so he will make a differentiation later. But here a very important verse he is saying, Siddhantastu abhedepi. There is abheda, no difference. Between whom? Srisha means Narayana and Krishna. The Srisha and Krishna, there is no difference. But just now you told that one is higher. So he says, yes, Rasena Utkrishyate. Okay, first he told Siddhantastu. According to Siddhanta, according to Tattva. According to the Tattva, there is no difference between Shrisha and Krishna. Both are Vishnu Tattva. Okay. But Rasena, according to the consideration of Rasa, Utkrishyate. One is higher. Who? Krishna Rupam. The Krishna Rupam is higher compared to the form of Narayana or Dwarka Krishna. Like that. Esa rasa sthiti. This is the situation or this is the uh, understanding from the basis of rasa. Okay. So in Siddhanta, Krishna and Vishnu are one, but in Rasa, Krishna is higher. Okay, please read this.
The queens, other than the principal 8 queens who were satisfied with their relationship with Krishna, describe the supreme attractiveness of Krishna's form during the pilgrimage to Kurukshetra. O saintly woman, we do not desire dominion over the earth, the sovereignty of the King of heaven, unlimited facility for enjoyment, mystic power, the position of the Lord Brahma, immortality, or even the attainment of kingdom of the God. We simply desire to carry on our heads the glorious dust of the Lord Krishna's feet, enriched by the fragrance of kumkum from his consort's bosom. We desire the same contact with the Supreme Lord's feet that the young woman of Praja, the aborigine Pulinda woman near the grass, and the cowherd boys tending the cows desire, the touch of the dust.
Okay, so a reference is quoted here by Jiva Goswami, that how do we understand that even the consorts of other forms of Krishna like Dwarka Krishna, they were attracted to the uh, the Dwarka Krishna here. He is saying queens. Okay, the queens of Krishna. Okay, other than the you must be knowing there are 8 principal queens like Rukmini, Satyabhama, Lakshmana, and Nagnajiti, all these. Apart from these 8, there are 16,000 queens, 16,100, sorry, whom Krishna had actually saved from the cave, and later he married them, 16,100 of them. So the 16,100 queens are in focus here, not the principal 8. Okay. They describe the supreme attractiveness of Krishna's form during the pilgrimage to Kurukshetra. Okay, so they are describing to whom? They are describing to Draupadi. Okay, this about uh, attraction towards Krishna. So this is quoted 10th canto 83rd chapter 41 to 43, these 3 verses. So they are saying that, O saintly women, we do not desire dominion over earth. We don't want anything, mystic power, anything, immortality, anything of this. We simply desire to carry on our heads the glorious dust of Krishna's feet. Which Krishna's feet? Which carry the fragrance of kumkuma from the bosoms of the consorts. Okay. So they are desiring, these are consorts which are gopis actually. And this is Vraj Krishna who is having this kumkuma in his feet. And they are saying we desire to carry the dust of that Krishna's feet on our head. So in simple words, they are saying what? We are attracted to Vraj Krishna. In the same way, gopis were attracted. Very simple words. Okay, we desire that same kind of relationship with Krishna that gopis have with Vraj Krishna. Like that they are saying. Means, why is it quoted here? So he is saying this because to prove that the Vraj Krishna form is higher than Dwarka Krishna. Okay. We desire the same contact with the Supreme Lord's feet, Vraj Krishna's feet, that the young woman of Vraja, the aborigine Pulinda women near the grass, and the cowherd boys tending the cows desire the touch of the dust of Vraj Krishna. This is to prove that Vraj Krishna is higher than Dwarka Krishna. Yeah, please read.
The scripture described the desire of Lakshmi, most famous among women, but even she was not qualified according to Kalia's wives. O Lord, we do not know how the serpent Kalia has attained this great opportunity of being touched by the dust of your lotus feet. For this end, the goddess of fortune performed austerities for centuries, giving up all other desires and taking austere vows. Buddha has also said the same thing. The goddess of fortune herself, along with Lord Brahma and all the other demigods who are masters of yogic perfection, can worship the lotus feet of Krishna only within her mind. But during the rasa dance, Lord Krishna placed his feet upon these gopis' breast, and by embracing those feet, the gopis gave up all distress.
So another proof he is giving that even Mother Lakshmi desires the association of Vraj Krishna. Okay, even Mother Lakshmi desires. Okay, according to the prayers of Kaliya's wives. And another prayer where Uddhava has also said, okay, that the Vraj Krishna form higher than the uh, form of Narayana, because even Lakshmi is aspiring whose form? That Vraj Krishna. Even though she is having the association of the Lord of Vaikuntha, that is Vishnu. Yeah.
Therefore, it is proper to say that the devotees, including the gopis, whose hearts are stolen by Govinda in Vraja, are the best, and that Krishna is the best. By mentioning that the form of Krishna is outstanding, his beauty also is indicated. Though this is a topic for the Siddha devotees, it is hoped that the others will become like-minded. Thus, it has been explained here.
Yeah. So it has been explained here, he is saying, so that everybody can understand that the form of Govinda in Vraja is the best, and Krishna is the best among all the forms of Krishna, including Dwarka Krishna and others. And devotees become like-minded, even though it is for Siddha devotees. But devotees become like-minded means they get attracted towards the form of Krishna, of Vraja, like that. Yeah.
Out of many kinds of
Yeah,
devotees,
Srila Prabhupada's comment, yeah, on this topic.
out of many kinds of devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the one who is attracted to the original form of the Lord Krishna in Vrindavan is considered to be the foremost, first-class devotee. Such devotee is never attracted by the opulence of Vaikuntha or even the Dwarka, the royal city where Krishna ruled. The conclusion of Sri Rupa Goswami is that the devotees who are attracted by the pastimes of Lord in Gokul or Vrindavan are the topmost devotees.
So this is the conclusion Rupa Goswami is giving. So there are so many kinds of devotees of Krishna, Vishnu, who are attracted to the original form of Lord Krishna in Vrindavan. So many examples were given. That form is considered to be foremost and best. And the devotees of his form of Raj Krishna are first class devotee, the highest devotee. The Prabhupada also saying same thing what we read now. Such a devotee is never attracted. Which devotee? This first class devotee who is in Vraj Krishna's devotee is never attracted to the opulences of Vaikuntha, Dwarka, even of Dwarka. Even he is not attracted to the Dwarka form of Krishna, the royal city of Krishna. And that's why he said the conclusion. Prabhupada is saying the conclusion of Rupa Goswami is that the devotees who are attracted by the pastimes of Lord in Gokula or Vrindavan are the topmost devotees. Okay. Yeah. Read this. Okay. I think
Not
Prabhuji
wish
is
to
busy.
redirect
Yeah.
his.
Okay. Yeah, read.
Am I audible, Guruji? Hare Krishna?
Yeah, your voice was breaking. Please read again.
A devotee who is attached to the particular form of the Lord does not wish to redirect his devotion to other forms. For example, Hanuman, the devotee of Lord Ramachandra, knew that there is no difference between Lord Ramachandra and Lord Narayan, and yet he still wanted to render service only unto Lord Ramachandra. That is due to the specific attraction of a particular devotee. There are many forms of the Lord, but Krishna is still the original form. Though all the devotees, different forms of the Lord, are in the same category, still it is said that those who are.
Yeah. So he is concluding now. Prabhupada is also saying a devotee who is attached to a particular form. If he is attached to Vishnu of Vaikuntha, that is good. He is attached to Dwarka Krishna, or Ram is good, is attached to Raj Krishna, that is also good. Everybody is happy in their relationship. And they don't want to redirect their devotion to other forms. Like example, Prabhupada is giving Hanuman. He is devotee of Lord Ram, and he always wants to serve Lord Ram only. He never says, "Oh, Krishna's form is better. I will go and serve Krishna now." He doesn't say. Even when he came as Murari Gupta. Okay. So he was told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "You should worship Krishna. Krishna's form is higher." And Murari Gupta actually he told, "No, I'm not able to do. Actually, I worship my Ram only," like that. Okay. So, because he is already in relationship with Lord Ram, he is having sthai bhava for him that cannot be changed. He is obviously Nitya Siddha, he is not a sadhaka. Okay. So, and similarly with Hanuman, he is saying. So, due to a specific attraction of a particular devotee, there are many, many forms. Somebody attracted to Krishna, somebody attracted to Vishnu, somebody attracted to Rama, like that. But Krishna is still the original form. Okay, that's why the Vraj Krishna is saying is the original form. That's why the devotee of Raj Krishna also have the highest. Though all the devotees are of the different forms of the Lord are in the same category, still it is said those who are devotees of Lord Krishna are the topmost. They are in same category means Siddhantastu Abhedepi. According to Siddhanta or Tattva, there is no difference. They are in the same category. All are worshippers of Vishnu Tattva. But even among them, Lord Krishna's devotees of Vraja are considered topmost. Okay, Vraja devotees. They are considered topmost among all of them. Okay. So that's why it is said. Now somebody may ask a question, but we saw just now Lakshmi ji aspiring to have association of Krishna of Vraja, even though she is consort of Lord Vishnu. Now here Prabhupada is saying that somebody who is already worshipper of Vishnu, or who is already a associate of Vishnu, will not want to change their rasa, correct? Change the person whom they are loving. So why is such inconsistency in the presentation? So there is no inconsistency. So we can understand it later. The comments will come that actually they are not wanting to change their rasa, or they are not wanting to change their relationship with Vishnu. What they want is a higher intensity in their own relationship. Of like Lakshmi ji has a relationship with Vishnu. She wants to have the intensity of the gopis in her relationship with Vishnu. She wants to increase her intensity by taking inspiration from the gopis. She doesn't want to make a new relationship with Krishna now. Similarly, Uddhava, when he visited Vrindavan, he appreciated so much the gopis that yes, you are the highest devotees. I want to become a creeper. I want to become a grass in Vrindavan. That does not mean that he wants to become like gopis and wants to actually become a grass, but he wants to increase his intensity of devotion like the gopis have in a relationship of dasya only. He is in dasya mixed with sakhyaras with Krishna. So he wants that relationship only with Krishna, but he wants to increase his intensity. He is inspired by the intensity of Madhurya Ras. No, it's not that he wants to move to Madhurya Ras. Okay, that is not the understanding. This will be explained later. Okay, any questions till now? Okay. So in this topic we discussed, and Rupa Goswami taught that there are three level of devotees. Sukheshwara Uttara, the lowest, Prem Sevottara, highest, and then third is the Ekantika Bhakta, Keval Bhakta. And then he told in the Ekantika or Keval Bhakta also, Vraj Krishna devotees are highest. And he gave examples how devotees attracted to Braj Krishna are present even in the associates of the Lord of Dwarka, Rama's devotees or Vaikuntha devotees. They are attracted to the form of Braj Krishna. And now this is such fifth chapter we are starting NOD. And Rupa Goswami is continuing in the second wave that there is no material qualification needed. We also discussed last week that how it was quoted that Maghasnan is just like it's accessible to everyone, Maghasnan. Similarly, Bhakti is accessible for everyone. Same topic now it's coming, that there is no material disqualification, but there is a spiritual qualification needed. What is a spiritual qualification? Na atisakto, na nirvinno, bhagasyam adhikaryaso, jat shraddho mat sevan. Okay, like that, he should have a spiritual qualification. What is that? Shraddha. And na atisakto, not too much attached to metal objects. Na nirvinno, not too much detached from metal objects. Okay, this qualification is needed spiritually. This is a part of spiritual qualification. But materially, every human being is qualified. Okay, every human being can practice bhakti if they get this spiritual qualification. Okay, that is the topic. So he is saying, शास्त्रतः श्रूयते भक्तौ निरिमात्रस्य अधिकारिता सर्वा अधिकारितां माघः स्नानस्य ब्रुवता यतः दर्शितान्तित वसिष्ठेन हरिभक्तिर्नृपां प्रति. Okay, somebody else can read who has not read. Sarveshwari Radhika Mataji, you want to read? You are on mute, Mataji. Unmute.
The
Yes, ma'am.
scriptures say that any human being is qualified for bhakti, just as everyone is qualified to take a bath during the month of Magha. Vasishtha, while speaking to the king, has given this example concerning devotion to the Lord.
Yeah, thank you. So he is saying regarding Hari Bhakti. Okay, regarding the Bhakti of Hari, this is being told. What is being told? Shastratah Shruyate. In the scriptures, it is said, Nirimatrasya, just by being a human being. Human being. Matra, just by being human being. Bhakta adhikarita. One is qualified for bhakti. Just as yatha bruvata sarva adhikaritam, everyone is qualified for what? Magha snanasya. For taking a bath during a month of Magha. Okay, just like everybody is qualified for taking a bath in the month of Magh, similarly, everybody, all of human beings are qualified for bhakti. That is what is being said. So from this statement, if it is taken out, one statement, it seems that all human beings actually are qualified for bhakti and everybody should be practicing bhakti, but we don't see. So that will be clarified in the commentary. Yeah, please read.
There is no material disqualification for the practice of bhakti. From what has been previously said, it should be concluded that those who possess faith and who are devoid of desires for material enjoyment and liberation are qualified for pure bhakti. This is certainly applicable to the three upper castes without distinction, but what about others? This verse says all persons are eligible.
So first thing Jiva Goswami does is he clarifies. Okay, so he clarifies that what was said earlier still holds true. Okay, material qualification is not there, but please understand there is requirement of faith and devoid of desires of bhukti and mukti should be there. Okay, these spiritual qualifications are needed. Okay, so that's why that other day we were discussing. So somebody quoted that everybody is qualified for bhakti without understanding what is said in the commentary. So commentary says that faith is needed and other things which were discussed earlier, this is also needed. Okay, that is bhukti and mukti should be absent. Na nirvinno na atisakto. Then the person becomes qualified for bhakti. So this is a clarification of Jiva Goswami. One should not think the verse is literally meaning that everybody is ready to practice bhakti. Yeah, just like every pen can write, given that it should have a refill. Refill is only not there, how will the pen write? Okay, that is what is being said here. So this is certainly applicable to the three upper castes without distinction. But what about others? So opposition, there is a question asked. Answer is given in this verse that all are eligible. Means again not that every pen writes. No, every pen with this refill, this spiritual qualification, that only is writing. That only can practice bhakti. Okay. Now he's saying Antyajapi tadshraष्ट्रे शंखचक्रांकधारिणः संप्राप्य वैष्णवीं दीक्षां दीक्षिता इव संभवुः. Yeah, please read.
In that country, even the outcasts receiving Vaishnava initiation, wearing the marks of the conch and disc, shine like sacrificial priests.
So he is quoting one reference, Rupa Goswami, a proof for what he said. Just like everybody, obviously that previous statement is also from Vasishtha, but he is quoting a Puran, Padma Puran, to give proof that in that country, even the outcasts, Antyaja, even those who are out of the four social orders, they receive Vaishnava initiation. Means they receive Diksha. Samprapya Vaishnavim Diksha. Vaishnavi Diksha they get. Vaishnava Diksha they get. And they wear the marks of conch and disc, even though they are outcasts. They shine like sacrificial priests. So everybody is qualified to become a Vaishnava, even though they may be outcast. That is the proof from Padma Puran. Yeah, please read Srila Prabhupada's comment.
On this. In the Middle Age, after the disappearance of Lord Chaitanya, great associate Lord Nityananda, a class of priestly persons claimed to be the descendants of Nityananda, calling themselves the Goswami caste. They further claimed that the practice and speaking of devotional service belonged only to their particular class, which was known as Nityananda Vamsa. In this way, they exercised their artificial power for some time until Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the powerful Acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, completely smashed the idea. There was a great hard struggle for some time, but it has turned out successfully, and it is now correctly and practically established that devotional service is not restricted to a particular class of men. Besides that, anyone who is engaged in devotional service is already at the status of being a high-class Brahmana.
So Prabhupada is saying this Jat Goswami thing. He is explaining that they were saying that no, only one who is coming in this lineage, in this Goswami caste, they can only practice bhakti. So later Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he actually smashed their idea and he said that everybody can practice bhakti. There was so much struggle for it, but he established it, this principle. Okay, like that. So besides that, anyone who is engaged in bhakti in Vaishnava, a Vaishnava is higher than a high class Brahmana. So and then on that basis only it was established a Vaishnava can worship deity, even though he may not be a Brahmana. Obviously, then second initiation thing and the Vaishnava thread was given so that there is not so much of uh, what do we say, critical thoughts or criticism in the Brahmanas, among the Brahmanas. So externally this is being followed, but internally we understand Vaishnava is higher than a Brahmana, even though they may not be given Brahmana thread, they can worship the deity. But not to create so much of what do we say, enemies in the society. Bhaktivedanta Thakur, he made in this thing. So Bhaktivedanta Thakur's struggle for this movement has come out successful, Prabhupada is saying. And that's why he will say now, yeah. Yeah, Mataji, please read.
It is on the basis of his position that anyone can now become a Gaudiya Vaishnava from any part of the world or any part of the universe. Anyone who is a pure Vaishnava is situated transcendentally and therefore the highest qualification in the material world, namely to be in the mode of goodness, has already been achieved by such a person. Our Krishna Consciousness movement in the Western world is based on the ever-mentioned proposition of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, our spiritual master. On his authority, we are claiming members from all sections of the Western countries. The so-called Brahmanas claim that one has One who is not born into a Brahmana family cannot receive the sacred thread and cannot become a high-grade Vaishnava. But we do not accept such a theory because it is not supported by Rupa Goswami or by the strength of the various scriptures.
So yeah, Prabhupada is saying on this basis we are actually preaching and making even the Westerners, the members of Gaudiya Vaishnava Society and a high grade Vaishnava like that. So we do not accept such a theory that which is not supported by Rupa Goswami. Okay. Any questions what we discussed on this topic? Qualification for bhakti. Okay. So next he is explaining about what are the duties which is expected of a practitioner, qualified practitioner of bhakti, Uttama bhakti. Somebody is qualified for bhakti, like it was said, what is the qualification? Two, he said, one is Shraddha, faith, and second one, not too much attached to sense objects, na atisakto, na nirvinno. Not too much attached, not too much detached. Okay, these two were said. Okay, not too attached, not too detached. These two things were said. That is qualification. But what should a person who is qualified for bhakti should he be doing, and what he should not be doing? Okay, those things will be told. Yeah, Mataji, please read.
It has been established that bhakti should be without other desires. It has also been shown that all humans, regardless of social position, are qualified for this type of bhakti. But isn't there a problem with this? If all people who are qualified by bhakti start neglecting varnashram duties, then isn't it sinful? If they do not perform their prescribed duties and they simply perform bhakti, all people will be engaging in sinful activities. That being the case, how can they become pure if they are sinful? Should they perform some kind of atonements?
So this question now Rupa Goswami is asking. So everybody is qualified for bhakti and everybody starts practicing bhakti, then what will happen? They will reject varnashma duties. They will say we will do only bhakti, 64 angas of bhakti. We will not do all this shraddha and other karmas, nitya naimittik karmas of varnashma. And if they give up those karmas, then will they be not sinful? And if they become sinful, should they not do any atonements? That question is being asked. That means all the devotees should they be doing varnashma duties or not? Which devotees? Qualified for Uttama Bhakti. What is the qualification? That was told. Shraddha and Natisakto na nirvinno. So for them the solution he gives. Okay. So the person, yeah, please read the translation.
The person qualified for bhakti is at fault for failing to perform all the important
Failing. Yeah.
angas of bhakti, but he is not at fault for failing to perform the duties of varna and asrama. If he by chance happens to commit some sin, there is no atonement prescribed for him. This is the opinion of those who know the secret of Vaishnava scriptures.
Yeah. So once we have discussed this shloka already, that a devotee should do the angas of bhakti like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Okay, he should be doing. If he does not do Shravanam, Kirtanam, then fault is there. Okay, so I'll write here devotee activity and the result. Okay, so if he is a devotee, okay, if he does the angas of bhakti, okay, what is the result? There is no fault. Okay, so let us write this here as the fault. Okay. Okay, whether it is a fault or not. Okay, there is no fault. Okay, devotee does not do angas of bhakti like Shravanam Kirtanam, there is a fault. Okay. A devotee now, he varnashrama duties. So here first part we have covered. The person qualified for bhakti is at fault for failing to perform the angas, important angas of bhakti. Which are important angas we will see when we are discussing next class. The important angas of bhakti will be told. But he is not at fault for failing to perform duties of varnashrama. If he does not do varna and ashrama duties, he is not doing. So is there any fault? There is no fault. Varnashrama duties he did not do. There is no fault. But he did not do angas of bhakti. There was fault. And then he says there is no atonement prescribed for him. Okay, if by chance happens to commit some sin, if he does some sin, then there is atonement is not needed. This is what the shloka is saying. For which devotee? Uttama Bhakti practitioner. Okay, for a practitioner of Uttama Bhakti, it is being said, if he does angas of Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, there is no fault. He should do. If he does not do, there is fault. He is a faulty person. If he does not do Varna and Ashrama duties, Nitya Naimittika duties, there is no problem, no fault. And if he does some sin, then by mistake, by chance, okay, sin, by chance it is told, Daivat, then there is no atonement. Knowingly if he does sin, seventh offense. Okay. Sin, he commits knowingly, with plan. Then what will happen? Seventh offense will happen for him. Okay, so this is the verse. So next time we will see the purport of this, and the whole concept will be described about these things. Okay, any question on today, whatever we discussed? Anybody has? Otherwise, we'll stop here. Okay, if there are no questions, then we will stop here and continue next time. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Jiva Goswami ki jai, Srila Vishwanatha Thakur ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai, Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu ki jai. Hare Krishna. So I would recommend devotees, they can read the chapters of NOD, 4th chapter, 5th chapter we discussed now today. 5th chapter we just started. So you can read 4th and 5th chapter to understand this better. We have taken some comments of Srila Prabhupada. Obviously, we could not take everything. And next time also 5th chapter will continue, and we will start with 6, 7, 8, 9. All these angas of bhakti very quickly we will cover. Okay. So if you read, it will be better. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Srila
Hare Krishna,
Prabhupada ki jai.
Sanjay.